Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this. You are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Let's see. Today, we will be discussing the Mercury retrograde in Aries happening on April 1st to April 25th. The shadow phase starts March 18th to May 13th. And Mercury is a 12-month cycle. Mercury will be in all fire signs this year. I did talk about this in my yearlies. If you want to go back and check that video out. But you might want to be thinking about what was happening back in May of 2023. Because whatever that is, this could be the extension of that, growing like the next level to whatever that is, or the ending or completion to whatever that was, and or starting something completely new. The signs that will feel this the most are Aries, Gemini, and Virgo. And so Mercury is selling, buying, communication, non-binary. I think this topic is going to come up quite a bit. Negotiating, siblings, neighbors, studying, reading, learning, writing, short distance travel. Mercury spots patterns and turns those ideas or patterns into real topics or real themes or real things. This is definitely really good for manifesting, even though it's a retrograde, believe it or not. Mercury also rules cars, business transactions, apps, phones, devices, emails, phone calls, text messages, documents, data, information, news, errands. Yeah. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a cardinal fire sign. It rules action, new beginnings, new starts, youth, and determination, guns, fights, anything sharp, rodents, this could be construction, demolition, anything around military action or authority figures, impulsiveness, passion, sexual, heated sessions. Be careful for oral diseases, like things with like itchy throats, any kind of oral diseases. Even though Mars specifically isn't in retrograde, I did talk about this, and I think I talk about this every single time I talk about a retrograde in Mars, because Mars is like sexually transmitted diseases. So be mindful of that. It's also heated speech, quick decisions. Somebody who can consume a lot of information really, really fast, but be careful for like missing the details or like reading text messages too fast and not receiving the true context and then reacting negatively to that. Things like that can come up with this. Assertive, direct, blunt, jump into conclusions. When you put the two together, um, this could be anything around relationships, because opposite Aries is Libra. And so it's going to be you against others, and not against meaning like in a negative way. It doesn't have to be negative. Although I really do think this transit is going to be very challenging. But anything to do around relationships, finances, investments, arguments, sports, like accidents. This could be crazy sports accidents, um, running athletes, somebody again who can learn very quickly, patience, ideas, impulsive decisions, somebody who's very hot-headed. This is definitely connected to instant karma. So if you're doing something and it's out of your element or out of alignment with who you are, it's going to be. And do you ever see that meme? They got a meme out that says instant karma on it, and as soon as somebody does something, it kind of bounces right back to you. This is definitely instant karma, especially with the North Node being in Aries. I think it's going to be. Uh, I think it's going to be a really good time to stop and think before you act. Um, this could be like tantrums and like complaining or naggy the way like a child is. Aries is the first sign, so this is like toddlers, somebody who can pick up something really quick, but lose interest even quicker, um, or start something and not finish it completely or all the way through. um Yeah, just it can be somebody who really forgets quickly, just as quick as you learn it, you can forget it. This could be like real raunchy comedy. Mercury does rule comedy, bullying, domestic violence, verbal abuse, anything around education, but short-term courses, certificate programs, things of that nature. It could even be trades and things like that. Be careful for driving really fast and road rage, car accidents, heated debates, strategy. This is really good time to come up with a strategy. This could be very competitive. We can see a lot of sex scandals, especially in the education system, specifically childhood education, so elementary. um and hearing about teachers committing sexual acts. This could unfortunately be fights and arguments with siblings and or neighbors, or just a lot of break-ins, violence, and complaints in the neighborhood. um this is a really good time to back up your computer, check your phone, or be prepared to have phone issues, all the typical Mercury retrograde kind of things. Obviously you can't put your life on hold, even though you'll hear a lot of people saying this is not a time to start anything, or things of that nature, which is mostly true, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to do it over again. That's just the bottom line. Like if I think back to May of 2023, is when I started working, and that was during the retrograde. I can't even begin to tell you how that whole job is always about doing something over because nobody said how to do it in the first place. Like there's a lack of structure there. And so, you know, um, it's always going to come back. When you start something on the energy of a retrograde, it's always going to be a bunch of repeating. You're going to feel like you're in a loop, or that you constantly have to do things over. And it's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just something to know. If you're okay with that, just, whatever you start, just know it's going to start with that energy, right? That's just how it goes. Even if you're getting something fixed on your car and you get it done around a retrograde, and it's not necessarily all things, but 9 times out of 10, more than likely, you're going to have to get it fixed once the retrograde is over. So yeah, be mindful of that. Um, if you're buying anything, get a warranty, keep your receipts. Be careful with any kind of travel plans. This is a good time for planning. If you don't have to actually do it at this time, that would be great. If you can't help it and it's unavoidable, again, just know that like documents missing, you might forget something, you might miss it, you might not be able to go. Um, you know, it's just gonna be wonky. You might be late, you might wake up late, like you might get all the way there and forget something. So you make it, but then it's like, damn, I forgot my phone or some extra cash or, something like that. Um, yeah. So just be careful around travel and again, car accidents, crime and stuff like that. People are not going to be so patient. So the challenge here is going to be trying to be calm. Um, during this time because you are going to be tested for sure. I think on a world stage, um, this is like because of all the interactions that Mercury retrograde is going to have with other planets, things about job numbers and jobs and lack of jobs and not having enough money to do things, um, not having enough to afford things, um, people really talking about like the struggles that they're having, right? We're in a recession, prices are going up, everything is super expensive. And it's going to be angry. It's going to make people angry and frustrated. And so these kinds of conversations could come up and it could feel really embarrassing. And people, it's not like, I don't get complaining in a bad way, but like they're tired. That's a perfect example, especially with Mars, the ruler of Aries being in Pisces. Is like, people are going to feel like they want to give up. This could be victim mentality with Pisces energy. I'm really not getting that with Mars. Mars is a lot more like Mars and Pisces is more like my Bruce Lee, wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi type of energy, you know. Um, and so there's going to be two sides of this energy depending on where you're at on your spiritual journey. There could be a lot of um people wanting to quit addictions, their lack mentality, um wanting to heal, taking care of their health, being more conscious of their health, um more healing, bedtime, regimens and stuff like that. Sleeping more, challenging themselves to kind of balance those things out, especially if you're somebody who overworks, you might even take a vacation because you might not have the energy to muster up to even fight. But it's Mercury, so you're going to talk about it. You're going to be more prone to talk about it, even if you don't want to, or you feel ashamed, or it's embarrassing. It's like, yo, I'm fucking tired of struggling. I need help. I want to do something about it. It could be really big, like political, not political, but you know, movements around this, or you'll see people coming together to kind of help. Pisces can be very compassionate, volunteering, giving, unconditional love, supportive. Even on the opposite side of Virgo is like nonprofits that are going to start doing certain services to help these people who have these certain cries of struggles, etc. Tired of being broke, tired of feeling like you're lost and have no direction in life, tired of feeling like, you know, um, like what are we here for? Like, what are we really doing in this lifetime? And so coming up with different kinds of um solutions and stuff around that, which I'll get into in a second, are going to be really big themes. Another theme is young people who work or need work, even like their population and the work that they are qualified for. Oh, this is going to be, I think, the most saddest topic is to hear young people, kind of complaining about, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know what my future holds. Just feeling a lack of feeling lost and tired, like they're tired. They don't want to be this way anymore. And again, coming up with solutions for that, or nonprofits giving out grant money for programs to rectify that issue on a deeper level. It could be stuff like that. This could also be negative self-talk that can actually manifest. And remember, it's in Aries, so you can think something really bad and see the manifestations of that very, very quickly. So I advise people to be super, super, super conscious of what you are thinking. And as I get into some of the solutions, maybe perhaps trying to focus more on those things at this time, because I can assure you, what you do think of, you manifest. You are your creator. I've talked about this when I did the work that I did in the prison system, and your words come make your reality, and you create that. And so you have to put in the work, put in the hard work to do the work to change your reality. So I use the example of when you're buying a car, and you start doing the process of thinking about what kind of car you want, then you go actually look at different kinds of cars and specifically what you want, what make and model, the prices, and where you're going to go to get it, how many different places you're going to try out. All those things are going to be the exact same steps that you're going to need to do to manifest these new things that are going to be this is stirring it up. We are for sure being kind of bringing up some old stuff. Why you gotta bring up old shit? um it's gonna bring up some old things in your Aries area of life, which is really self, anything to do with the self, but it really depends on what house it's in. That can add more context to that, but it's going to be bringing up old things about yourself that don't align with the new person that you need to be to get to the next step of your goals, right? And so, and that theory of that process that it takes to get that car, you know how you start seeing that car everywhere now? It's because you manifested that, right? And so again, you have to take those same steps in whatever this is that's bringing up for you to clear, get a better understanding in, look it deeper. And I'll talk more about that because I'm getting ready to go on and on. But so people are going to be brave enough to ask for help. You can definitely rest assured there's going to be some stuff about cancel culture here. It's Mercury. Freedom of speech is very much at risk. So, you know, maybe there'll be some more stuff about TikTok for sure. And then we can see a lot of issues with prisons, and even health and health facilities, even mental health facilities. Um, um, some kind of issues or things that need to be worked on, done better, more creatively, innovatively, more leadership within that, more people in those fields. I doubt we need more people in the health field, but I can imagine in prisons for sure, even the healing profession, for sure. But yeah, so we can definitely see a lot more things around those themes coming out. This can bring up some, you know, things around gay and lesbian with the prison topics, organ selling, people dying in prison, and child, there's all sorts of stuff going on. And I don't even know what to say about it all, to be honest with you. It's crazy. But it's a thing. And so what we're looking at, what this retrograde is giving us the opportunity to look at is our impulsive reactions, need for immediate gratification, any anger issues, and how can we transmute that energy? Well, you let it motivate you to plan new projects, set new goals, and new forms of communicating. Um, this is a time for serious internal self-reflection, especially because it's going to be connected to Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Now, I did do a video on the North Node conjunct Chiron, and I have a bunch of other stuff on this channel and my other channel around that. I'd highly, highly, highly advise you guys to go back to that video that I just did with the North Node and Chiron, because those things are going to be probably the most pertinent to me personally throughout this entire eclipse season. This is definitely going to be baked into the eclipse, and so you can rest assured that you're going to see bits and pieces of things coming out here and there with what you need to do and where you need to go, because the Pisces energy is kind of breaking up, and it will break up eventually and move into all Aries energy, but we're not going to get the gist of it until fall, and even I feel like until this time next year. So be patient with yourself. Try not to rush things. And that's really what retrogrades are really all about. I call retrogrades as a time to do like little scientific projects to test things to see how they work. So try all kinds of new things. Open up your mind. Be flexible. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, now you know. Period. You know, that's just how it goes. But be open to it. Experience it fully. And take what you learn from it and leave the rest. Because I think that this is really about healing the self. I can say more about that, but I'm trying not to say too much more because I am going to do the Aries North Node, and there'll be more messages in there. So I'll save it for that video. But yeah, we're reevaluating our communication styles, aggression, overbearing attitude. People can become very alert. This could be things about sound engineers, listening skills, being very clever. You're on the go. The way you approach things. So if you're somebody who's super overachiever, works really, really hard, that's going to be questioned. Again, take a vacation, take some time off, put little, make little, like times throughout your day to rest, relax, and retreat. Um, just bullshit for like 30 minutes and watch a TV show. Read a book, go for a walk, jog, run, stuff like that's going to be very, 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 very important. You definitely want to make sure whatever contracts or agreements you're getting into at this time, you want to read it 3 times, 3 times. And especially if it's something you got to put your John Hancock on. So again, Mercury retrograde is about returns, definitely exes returning to get closure or to see if you can work things out. I've been trying to be more positive about exes coming back, but I think the most important thing to remember is if people do come back, it's really just about gauging, okay, how much have you changed? But then I looked at Nelly and what's her name's little relationship. They are so cute. Oh my God. I'm trying to look at it from that perspective. And so maybe it's exes, but exes from long, long time ago where you know for sure that there's been enough time that somebody could have possibly grown, done things differently, and changed. You know what I'm saying? If they're recent exes, rest assured it is a test. Spirit is testing you to see if you learned your lesson. And if you really want what you want, you have to ask the right questions. You have to hold people accountable, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Um, so reimagine, renegotiate for personal growth. So pay attention to any situations coming up from the first to well, no, from now until the first, because anything that's happening in between those times, you're going to be reworking, reevaluating during the retrograde. So there'll be a lot of misunderstandings. But the idea of going through these things, if you're listening, is hopefully that you have some kind of awareness so that you can avoid conflict. Although, again, I really don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be very hard to do. Sometimes conflict helps. You can't always avoid conflict, but if you do it with compassion and understanding, and again, being open, just listen, let people vent, hear what they're trying to say. Once they finish, you'll have a better idea of like, oh, this person is really blah, 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 blah. You can usually gauge what that anger or aggravation is coming from, whether it really has anything to do with you or not. Because with Pisces, it can very much not have anything to do with you. This could be a good friend who just needs to vent, but they're yelling, or the way they're approaching it could be very Aries-like, and you're just not sure, like, are you yelling at me? But if you respond too quickly, it could turn into a fight and then be something very unnecessary that could have been avoided. I mean, this is going to happen in various different ways. And so it's really up to you to sit back and just be mindful, be watchful. That's really all you can do. But in this way, conflicts are really allowed to help you level up in relationships, become a team player at work, and really gauge and narrow in on your goals for the person who you are now, who you're trying to become now. All this new energy that's been coming up since Aries has been in the North Node is bringing in this leadership, mentorship. Yeah, you know. And so if you've been working on yourself, this is a great time to share how you have gotten through times like this, and it can end up inspiring others. This is definitely good for, again, coaches, healers, teachers, mentors, therapists, counselors, really anybody in any profession who has information to give that's going to help you. So if you're struggling with your job and your money and things like that, a financial coach or financial information, read it, go get a book. I don't know, you're going to figure it out for yourself, but put those things into work and you will see benefits come from it, a mindset change. You'll think differently. Something will come out of it that'll be like, that was, it was worth going inward doing the work, right? So this has given us an opportunity to be very clear on our new beginnings. And take responsibility to fix things that you maybe might have done in a very airy, blunt, rude, aggressive way prior to. So apologies with Mars and Pisces. Apologies could be coming in. Again, people could just want closure. So for the exes coming back, even if it's friends, siblings, neighbors, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins coming back, allow that healing process to take place. Again, listen, be grateful, be understanding. Whether you choose to come together with that person or not is going to depend on each and every individual person's situation. But that right there, just allowing that for that space allows for real, true healing to continue on, whether you're there or not. Right? You could be drawn to really want to mind your business and stay out of things because you're learning that it's a waste of time. It's mean, and attacking people is very immature and selfish. So, whether it's you or other people doing this, people are done. I feel like, you're going to be brave enough to look in the mirror and make changes and set some plans and goals around this new you that you're trying to become. So I like it. I don't think it's going to be easy. It's always easier said than done. Pray about it. Okay. Go talk to Jesus. No, but seriously, it'll be worth it. You having this information, you definitely want to look at where this is taking place, what area of life this is taking place for. If you want a weekly reading from me every week, a week in advance to help prepare for times like such, feel free to email me. All my information is in the description box below. And you can stay ready so you don't have to get ready. All right, family. I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.